Hey, it's Yolanda. So if you've made it this far, if you're watching this video, that tells me a couple of things. One is that you're interested in my new course on how to develop simple self-care practices to get unstuck. And second is there's still a spot available, otherwise I would have pulled down this video. Here's the deal. Learning these self-care practices that work is for you if you're a woman who is burnt out, anxious, overwhelmed, demoralized, tired of being in the trenches. It will help women who feel like you're just a hamster on a wheel, just running around and around every day without knowing any clear purpose or meaning in your life. So these mental self-care practices are great if you're somebody who's already defeated by having failed on your New Year's resolutions. So maybe you have really great hopes and dreams, but you have trouble completing what you start. It's also for women who've tried some other things like yoga, meditation, or therapy, and maybe you got benefit from those things, but you still feel like you're stuck in a rut. And these practices are for you if you feel like you're running out of time, but you just can't stop procrastinating and numbing out. Personally, really love mental self-care practices. By the way, some people may think of this as the power of positive thinking. Some people may refer to it as manifesting. I know that all sounds kind of airy-fairy. So what I've learned and what I teach is actually very straightforward and very practical. It's just learning how to make simple self-care practices that improve your life. And what that means basically is just giving the same kind of basic care and attention and love to your emotional hygiene as you do to your physical hygiene. So I've been doing this for over 3 years now, and since then my life has improved pretty dramatically. I left a job that was holding me back from my dreams, really big for me. I stopped overworking, something else that I just really never thought I would be able to do. I've reconnected with people I love, and I've lost 10 pounds and kept it off. So after a decade, literally a decade of feeling burned out and really frustrated and resentful because I felt like I didn't have any choice about what I did every day, I now have the time and space and energy to do the work that I really love, which is this work. So I've been helping other women get unstuck and improve their lives for about 2 years, since I came out with my book called Manifesting Mastery about 2 years ago. I really want you to experience these beautiful benefits of developing a daily mental self-care habit too. So this training is going to go deep on the 4 steps that you need to take to radically change your life. So we're going to have 4 live calls, live training calls, plus 1 bonus Q&A call. So the first call is going to be about the easy steps to help you break the negative cycle that's keeping you in a rut. So in this call, in this first call, we're going to go deep on using the miracle minutes, these kind of foundational practices that I've already been teaching a little bit, as a jumping off point to create the change that you want in your life. So in the second call, you're going to identify where you want to go, like what are the results that you want in your life. And we're going to do this in a very simple, fun way that the great majority of women never ever do. In the third call, you're going to learn how to manage fear and procrastination, which disrupts so many of us from getting our dreams. And you learn that by using these some further mental hygiene practices, very simple. And in the fourth call, you learn how to stay motivated and to stay on track by learning how to take baby steps and by learning how to normalize failure. So this is a step where you learn how to avoid that hole of the New Year's resolution where you start out really full of resolve and then you drop off in defeat like within a few weeks. So in addition to these live classes, which of course have live Q&A, you're going to have homework, assignments, you'll have a private Facebook group in which you can share your wins, your challenges, and your questions. So this is going to be a very interactive process. You'll have direct access, frequent and direct access to me, and it's just going to be you, me, and a very small group of women. Every student in the class will have at least one private call with me. I want to make sure in this course to give you the support and the guidance individually, personally, that you need to succeed. I don't have some big fancy sales pitch for this. So if you've made it this far, it means that there's at least one more spot available, maybe more. So we'll be starting our first call on Tuesday, January 26th, and we'll have 5 total calls, one each week, until you've learned how to create and use this daily mental self-care habits to get unstuck. Don't worry if you think you're way too busy and you don't have time for this. The practice work is actually very simple and doesn't take very much time. Could take 30 minutes to an hour. You can always put in more, but you don't have to. And also this work is very easy and fun, so it doesn't really feel like work. So the truth is, you don't have time not to learn these simple self-care practices. If you don't do this, I can almost guarantee you that a month from now, you're going to be in the exact same place you are today. Demoralized, burned out, stressed, stuck in a rut. Maybe you sort of doubt that something like mental self-care practices can actually work to improve your life. I am here to tell you that they are exactly what changed my life. And since I started doing this work in the last 3 years, I feel more happy, healthy, connected, and on my path than I've ever felt in my life. And that's in the middle of a global pandemic. Maybe you feel like this mental self-care practices or positive thinking is kind of too airy-fairy, too woo-woo, too weird for you. I get that, because when I first started this work, I also felt sort of uncomfortable and doubtful about it. But the proof is in the results. And I can tell you that for me, the results and the proof are very real. Literally leaving a job that was holding me back from my dreams is real. Losing 10 pounds and keeping it off is real. Stopping overworking. I was in this like exhausting, I can't tell you, just like totally demoralizing and exhausting habit of working every night, every weekend. I almost prided myself on working more on the weekends almost than I did on my regular work days that also included evenings. It's just exhausting and horrible. I don't do that anymore. That's a real result. And also connecting with the people that I really love and care about in my life, those are real. It's all real. I've also come to see that the practices themselves are very wholesome and very practical. Normally, people would pay a life coach or a trainer up to or over $500 for a package like this that includes super personalized guidance and support. But the way I've been able to put this program together with a very small interactive group where I'm actually developing the course specifically to suit your needs, I'm able to keep the price down to $197. This is a total bargain for the energized, joyful, accomplished way you're going to feel 4 to 5 weeks from now. Just click the button below to get started and join me in the How to Get Unstuck course. Like everything I offer, it's 100% guaranteed. In fact, this course is literally a no-risk offer because the training is 4 weeks, and you have a 30-day offer of a full refund if you're not completely satisfied. So if you're not completely 100% satisfied, up to 30 days, you can ask for a full refund, no questions asked. So I personally don't want the bad karma of keeping somebody's money if they didn't feel like they got excellent over-the-top value, if they didn't get actionable, tangible wins to get unstuck and to change their life. So once I learned to use daily mental self-care practices myself, my life changed in some pretty dramatic ways. We all live in the real world, so it's not some kind of fantasy world, so bad things happen, like the pandemic, for example. But I no longer feel like I have no choices in the world. I no longer feel stuck and demoralized. I no longer feel burned out and constantly stressed. And I don't feel paralyzed by indecision, fear, or failure anymore. I now have simple, practical steps and tools that help me walk what I call my path of joy. I know that sounds kind of hokey, but that's actually what's happened in my life. And I would love to help show you the way to your path of joy too. There's one thing I can't do. I can't click that button. I can't register for the course. Only you can do that. So go ahead, click the button, join me in the How to Get Unstuck course. I'll see you there.